Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to CommCats, a newly created podcast for Augusta University to highlight some of our staff and alumni and their pursued careers after their graduation. Today, I have with me Ms. Stacey Hudson. She is the Coordinator of Communication, Planning, and External Relations for the College of Education. Now, if you wouldn't mind starting us off with just a little of a bit of information about what goes on at your job and your day-to-day life working here.
Sure. So in my position at the College of Education, I'm kind of a one-man band.
Mm-hmm.
I do anything that is related to public relations, marketing, social media, video production, photography, whatever they need me to do is what I do. And you'll find that at smaller colleges and universities, that happens a lot. You just kind of pick up whatever projects need to be completed.
Right. Sounds like you have a lot on your plate.
A little bit.
So when you first came to the school, what year did you graduate?
2003.
Okay. And what brought you to study at Augusta University?
So I started out at Georgia College and State University in Milledgeville, and I tried everything there. The student newspaper staff, I was a DJ, I was an RA, just wasn't happy there. And so I was looking to finish somewhere else and took a chance on Augusta University after I saw some work that Dr. James Garvey and Dr. Deborah Redden Von Tool were doing.
Mm-hmm. How old were you when you started at Augusta University? And if you were over the age of 24, what was that transition like getting back into college?
I was 25, actually, and I transferred in from a different university. And the transition was a little weird because I'd been out of school for a couple of years. So it was the paperwork and the financial aid and all of that took a lot more than I expected. It wasn't digitized back then, back in the Stone Ages when I rode a dinosaur to college. And then, but getting back into classes, I was already into my major coursework at that point. So it was just things that I enjoyed learning about. That wasn't so hard, and the people were very friendly and accepting. So I really enjoyed it.
Why did you choose communications as your field of study?
So I like to think communications chose me. I won my first writing award when I was in second grade. Thank you, Kiwanis Club of Conyers, Georgia. And I continued working in some capacity in communications and writing from the time I was 15 years old and working as a stringer in Atlanta through college and then after college as well. So I've just kind of always done it in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
It just came naturally.
So you'd consider it somewhat of a passion?
I would say that I had an initial natural aptitude that I followed,
Okay.
and some days I'm more passionate than others.
I think we can all relate to that in some way. So with your schooling at Augusta University, do you believe that the school prepared you well enough within your communication studies to take on the real world or for something like this job or any future endeavors you might have?
Absolutely. So in addition to the very practical, hands-on classes that I took, I was able to do 3 internships and present research at conferences and present seminars at conferences as well. So there's nothing that I didn't want to try, that I didn't want to learn, that I wasn't presented the opportunity with here at the university.
Okay. Do you have any specific or favorite memories that you had while attending Augusta University? Any opportunities in particular that you fondly remember being a part of?
Yeah, I remember working really hard on the student newspaper and the student magazine. And there's nothing more intense to hone your writing than a situation like that, where you're not only working on your own writing and editing your own writing, but working with other students to edit their work as well, and to do so in a way that doesn't turn them off of writing entirely. And then my relationships with my faculty members, who were extremely encouraging and supportive. I couldn't have asked for more from them.
While you were at Augusta University, what were some of your favorite classes that you remember taking?
I loved all of the writing classes.
Okay.
Every last one of them. But one of the things that I really loved was journalism history, and I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. But you're able to go back and take an event in history or a period of time in history and look at how media of any kind covered that event or story or period of time, and really see, not just learn about journalism and history, but also see the contrast between the time and then what we're living in today.
Right.
It was terribly put.
That's okay.
But you learn such a contrast that you begin to appreciate more and more what you have today. And so it was a surprising class to really love.
If you could do this all again, come back to Augusta University and attend all over again, what are some things that you might have changed?
Ooh, that's a really hard question. What would I change? I would like to have started with more confidence in my own abilities. It took a little while for me to get to that point, and my professors were really crucial in helping me to get there.
Hmm.
I would probably spend a little less time not sleeping. I would take a little more time for self care,
Right.
which I really didn't do for 4 years. I'm not sure I slept very much at all.
Mm.
And I might have done a little bit less work on campus. Honestly, I took too much on myself. And I think that there are a lot of students who are very passionate about their careers and their subject of study, and they just take on too much. And I was one of those students. And some things suffered as a result. I was really tired all the time, for example. But I wouldn't change what I studied. I wouldn't change who I studied with. And I wouldn't change the university I chose.
Speaking of things like attaining confidence, would you have any advice for anyone looking to pursue a communications degree, perhaps for any recurring students or ones that are coming into the future?
Yeah, I would say be coachable.
Mhm.
You may not have a lot of confidence in your work, and if you are open to constructive criticism, friendly criticism, then you'll find that you know a lot more than you think you do, that you're better at it than you think you are, and that if you're not, you have the tools here at the university and the faculty here at the university to get to the goal that you want to reach.
I can definitely say for myself that a lot of the staff here have helped me to get where I wanted to be,
Yeah,
and I'm glad to hear that it's been the same way for you,
it's good people here.
of course. So overall, if you could sum up your experience at Augusta University in a few sentences, what would you say?
I would say that the university is placed in a town that is the perfect size for a college. It's not so big that you have traffic issues and crime issues, but it's not so small that there's nothing to do. So take advantage of the city you're in. And I would say build those relationships with your faculty, even if you're shy, even if you don't have a friend in the world. Build your relationships with your faculty because they will be your absolute best advocate, and take advantage of all of the services that are offered on your college campus, whether they're counseling services or tutoring services or games or just fun events. Really get involved and really dive in and really make this your lifestyle for the next 4 years.
Well, that was very nicely put.
Thanks.
And first, I'd like to thank you, Stacey, for taking the time to be a part of this interview and this project.
My pleasure.
It means a lot to all of us to know that you are a part of the passionate and engaging members of Communications Society that carry on values and skills of communications into the workforce and everyday life from here on out. And thank you, everyone, for listening to the CommCats podcast. This is your caster for today, Zachary Moreau, signing out. See you next time.